I am just coming to the end of my 10K recovery run from yesterday's 5K race. Right at the end right now. So, pretty happy with that. I've thought I'd go over a few things that I'm doing to get ready for my marathon. My marathon is 6 weeks out, and it's been a journey so far. I've been training for about 20 weeks or so, so I thought I'd go through everything that I'm preparing for and doing. So first thing is I got a hat, keep the sun out, but I'm also going to have a light up here because this is called the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's a 2.5 mile tunnel that's pretty much complete darkness other than other people's headgear. So I'm just going to buy a real cheap one that clips on the visor up here that I can just put on and run with, because I never run at night, so it's just for this. So it'll just be a cheap visor headlight and get me through the tunnel, go through my gear. So I'm running in super shoes, and the ones I picked are these Adidas Adios Pro 4 they're called. They're carbon plated. They're what a lot of the elite runners run in. They have a bounce to them that gives you a little bit of a extra oomph. So those are my shoes, but you got to get used to them. So I run in them. I've got two pair. I run in them. One is my trainers, and the other one's going to be for the race day. So the next thing is my heart rate monitor. I use a Garmin HR90, it's called. It's this one that goes around your chest strap, and it's a really good one. It hooks up to my Garmin phone, so it's made for it. So, well, any heart rate monitor will hook up to your phone, but or not your phone. Well, your phone, yeah, but my watch, my Garmin watch. It hooks to my Garmin watch, and as far as my Garmin watch goes, this is my Garmin watch. It's a Garmin 265 they call it, which is about near the top midline watches for Garmin. But the next one up is called a 965, and it's good if you're doing like ultras through trails that you don't know. It's got mapping and all that stuff. This one has map on it, but it's only to map your course. It's also got something called Pro Plan on it, which you can set to give you alerts. And speaking about alerts coming through earphones, these are my Shocks, what do they call it? Bone conduction headphones. They're awesome. I never thought that these would be this good, but they're so nice. They stay on your head. They stay on your head because they go around like that. They don't fall out like normal earbuds do. I used to run in earbuds and dumped them as soon as I got these. I'm actually going to get two pair though, because I ran a long run last weekend and about 3 some hours, and they cut out about at the 3 hour mark. So I'm going to have to get another one because I like to listen to music when I run. So that's the thing. I got to have something that's going to keep going for the entire 4 hours. So speaking about 4 hours, I've had 2 injuries so far during this training thing. One on my left knee. I ran a 10K pretty quick, a race, and I ran it in my another pair of super shoes I got called the Nike Alpha Flies, and they're great shoes. They really propel you forward. Gave me a good time, but I don't think they're that great on cobblestones. They sort of, I don't know if it was the cobblestones or the shoes, or if it was just me twisting my knee around, but my left knee, I got this pain on the bottom right front of my knee, and it was pretty bad, and I had to kind of just nurse it as I went along, and now it's better. But then a couple weeks ago, I'm running my really long run, and I get about all the way out, and my right calf starts to hurt real bad. So it's like, so I had to kind of do a little run walk on the way back. So it's still kind of tender. I feel it. So I have to make sure that I can run on it, but I don't stress it out too much. So I'm changing up my my running, and for the marathon, I'm going to do a 1.4 kilometer run at 5:45 minutes per kilometer, and then I'm going to walk 100 meters or 0.1 kilometers and do that, because that little 0.1 meter walk in between those running kilometers gives your legs and your calves a break, so it's not just constant, which is huge. I mean, the little walk breaks, you can't imagine how much they help during a run. So I've got to run, which means I got to run a little faster on the 1.4, but I get that 100-meter break, and so I'll do that. How many times? I don't know. I don't know how many times. 20 times or something like that. Maybe not quite that many for 42 kilometers. So it'll be run 1.4, walk 100 meters. Run 1.4, walk 100 meters. So that's my strategy. And another strategy is heart rate, and you can't really control that. It's whatever it's going to be. But all I can do is pray for a cool day, maybe in the lower than 60, 30 to 60 temperature Fahrenheit. And if I can get that, I can keep my heart rate down probably under 140, and I'm shooting for keeping it 140 the whole way or less, because that's where my optimum range is for that kind of a run. If it goes up into 150 range, I'm gonna have to slow down and give it up. But all this is so that I can qualify for Boston in 2026. And I have to run a 420, but it's got to be faster than that, even probably about a 415, because depending on how many entrants there are to Boston, they cut time. So the cutoff time is 420, but if they have more people than are allowed, then they'll just start cutting the time down to 419, 418, 417, until they get to a point where, you know, they've got the right number of people. So even though it's a 420 cutoff, I have to run it. My goal is actually 415, and if I do what I just told you with my strategy, I'll come in at 414 something. So that's my goal, is to come in at 414 something. But if I feel good near the end, and I feel like I can kind of dig in a little bit and kick it out, I'll get rid of the walks and just keep running. So we'll see. So what do I got left? I've got 6 weeks. Oh, I've got 2 long runs left. Next weekend is I think 20 miles, and then I'll drop to 17 miles the next week, and then the next week will be 22.5 miles I think I'm going to do, and then I'm going to start cutting back to 17, and then the week before I think it's like 8 or 10 or something like that on the weekend before the race, and then I won't do pretty much anything, maybe a couple of 2 miles in between on that week, and hopefully by the time I get to that marathon day, I'm fresh and ready to go, and muscles are rested, and I'm healthy. So we'll see.